From survival to self-trust, why I choose hypnotherapy. There was a time in my life where I looked successful on the outside, but inside I was surviving. If you are someone who appears strong, capable, responsible for everyone else, quietly question your own worth, this story may feel familiar. My name is Rose, and this is why I choose hypnotherapy. I was born in France. My mother is French, and my dad is from Ivory Coast. At home, my father was controlling, often angry, and frequently absent because of work. My mother felt alone and sad, overwhelmed, working constantly, and raising 3 kids, mostly by herself, in an abusive marriage. As a child, I learned early that emotions were not safe to express. So I escaped into books, imagination, and silence. I was shy, scared to communicate, and I learned to observe life instead of fully participate in it. At 9 years old, I decided I would become an esthetician. Even then, I was drawn to care and touch and helping others feel better. As a teenager, I grew up fast. I helped my mother make the decision to leave my father. One day, we left everything behind and hid in the women's center. We start over in a new place. That experience shaped me deeply. It taught me about fear and courage and survival, but also about emotional wounds that don't disappear just because life changes. After 6 years of study, I moved to Paris. Leaving my mother's home, I felt like freedom. But it was also another form of escape. My first jobs were difficult. I was taken advantage of at work. I experienced financial abuse by friends that I trusted. I moved many times. I kept going anyway. In 2009, I decided to go to Canada, a country I had briefly experienced years earlier during an internship in Montreal. I live in Montreal first, and then Toronto, and finally in Vancouver. I was searching for something I couldn't yet name. In Montreal, I met a man I believe was the love of my life. He wasn't. After a year of long distance, I moved back to Paris to live with him. We stayed together for 4 years. During that time, I experienced emotional abuse, financial abuse, and at times sexual abuse. Leaving that relationship was one of the hardest decisions I ever made. But I left. Returning to Canada felt like a new beginning, but also another escape. Before settling again in Canada, I accepted a job in Angola. I worked 6 days a week, 12 hours a day for 6 months. I burned out completely. I was exhausted, disconnected from my body, and I coped through emotional eating the end of my contract. When I returned to Canada, I moved to Vancouver, and it didn't work the way I expected. So I decided to move to Whistler. Dating became another way to stay busy. I was overworking again, partly drinking a lot of alcohol. A part of me was searching for connection and validation and relief from the sadness I still carried inside. After I took a decision to start my own business in one of the rooms in Whistler, unfortunately the business closed, and at the same time I moved to Squamish. I opened my own business and start again. The business was doing well, grew up really fast and become successful. But from the outside I look successful. Inside there was still an unhealed part asking for safety. A few years later I met someone in Vancouver. We started dating, and one night when I was under the influence, I was raped. My mind blocked the memory. It was too painful. That experience, it was until later through energy healing and hypnotherapy sessions that the memories return. That experience taught me something essential. That subconscious may carry pain, but it can heal. Slowly, I learned to feel safe in my body again, trust men again, and allow myself to date after a long time of avoidance and fear. Later, I met someone that I truly care about. When the story ended, the pain was deep, and instead of collapsing, I chose transformation. I worked deeply on myself this time through multiple modalities, including hypnotherapy, personal development work, and other healing practices. Not to escape this time, but to reconnect with myself. After many years in aesthetics, I realized something had changed. I didn't just want to care for the body anymore. I wanted to help women feel safe inside themselves. I trained as a chartered herbalist, a clinical aromatherapist, and I completed a 10-month program in clinical hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapy helped me understand why intelligent, capable women still doubt themselves, and how early emotional experiences shape your beliefs, behaviors, and relationships. Today, I want to help women who excel in their career but previously doubt their value, feel responsible for everyone but struggle to care for themselves, grow up with emotionally unavailable, overwhelmed, or critical parents, carry pattern of overworking, perfectionism, or people-pleasing, feel invisible, unappreciated, or disconnected from themselves. My work focuses on rebuilding self-trust, self-worth, and inner safety beyond achievement. Through clinical hypnotherapy and aromatherapy, we don't force change and allow the nervous system to finally rest. If my story resonates with you, maybe you look a little bit similar, or your nervous system learns similar patterns. Healing is not about fixing yourself. It's about remembering who you were, before survival become your identity. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to book a free consultation with me, feel free to contact me on Facebook or Instagram, or you can also send me an email and we can discuss if hypnotherapy will be a great tool for you to reconnect with yourself. You can also subscribe on this channel if you're interested to follow me and have some tools about hypnotherapy and aromatherapy. Thank you. See you next time.